Facebook. Welcome to Terry's Tips, guys. Get a notebook, get a pen, because today I'm going to help you delete collections from your credit report. Specifically, guys, how to negotiate a pay for delete. I'm not talking about the dispute process today. Now, how is this going to help you? This is going to help you increase your personal credit scores. It's going to help you have higher limits on your revolving trade lines. So your credit cards, your lines of credit, it's going to help you qualify for your mortgage, your cash out refinances, your home equity lines. And it's going to help you transition into business credit. Come on, somebody. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in, guys. I'll do my nugget at the end. So this is a wealth building ministry, and I help you guys get big money, right? The 5 and 6 and 7 figures. So guys, when will you do a pay for delete? I need you guys to hear this because you hear all these videos. Never pay a collection. Don't pay a collection. Don't do it. Guys, this is where I'm about to tell you guys the whole truth and nothing but the truth, okay? This means that you do not let a $500 Macy's collections or an $800 Comcast collection or a $900 Verizon collection stand in the way of your 6-figure mortgage pre-approval or your 6-figure business credit or your 6-figure cash out refinance, right? So when there is a collection bringing down your credit score and it is a valid negative debt, you've done everything you can and it is not budging, that is when you will use this pay for delete process. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, right? Nugget, I'm going to drop nuggets through the entire video, okay? This is where, guys, if you have been disputing something for 5 months, 6 months, 10 months, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So guys, a lot of times you can do a pay for delete and have that thing going in like a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 30 days max, and be off to your legacy and your wealth building. So I want you to have higher level strategy. If it's a valid negative debt or you have not done the dispute process the right way and it's not budging, go ahead and do a pay for delete, okay? So I'm going to break it down into 5 steps for you, and I'm going to tell you how to execute each step, okay? Got it good? So step number 1 is to pull your credit reports. Now, this is important, guys, especially because for collections, depending on who the original creditor is, they may have sent to multiple companies, right? You can have 3 people calling you and 5 people on the dining room table who have sent you mail about this debt. You want to strategically only negotiate a pay for a delete with the entity reporting the information on your credit report, okay? So you're going to use either annualcreditreport.com, My FICO, or Credit Check Total. That way you guys can get copies of your reports from all 3 bureaus. And if you want your credit score, your FICO score, not your Vantage score, not Credit Karma, not Credit Sesame, not Identity IQ. If you don't know what I'm talking about, pretty soon I have the releases, the replays from my workshops available. Give me like 48 more hours to kind of format everything. And you guys can go through that hands-on 2-hour training, right? So if you don't understand why I'm saying that, but to get your FICO scores, Credit Check Total or My FICO, or if you just want your reports, soft inquiry, all 3, and you will get the information for the creditor, the collection agency, their address, their phone number, and you'll know exactly who's reporting on your credit report. Go to annualcreditreport.com. So that's step number 1. Now, step number 2 is to negotiate the amount you owe, right? So understand, you're not calling the company yet, but you yourself are going to understand how much money do you actually need. Nugget here. Rule of thumb, normally you can get between 40 to 60% knocked off of the actual debt, right? So we're trying to get this account to a 0 balance and close and pay for delete as quickly as possible with the least amount of money out of pocket. Got it good? So if it is, I say always negotiate between like 40 to 60%. So I say if this is a, oh my God, I thought I had my phone, somebody's going, my phone, I hope the video didn't stop just now because I thought I put do not disturb on. OMG. So anyway, so then this is where if it's $100, if it's $1,000 debt, I'm going to have at least $500, $600 in the bank. That's a nugget for step number 2. Understand how much money you actually need to settle the debt and kind of negotiate a pay for delete and have that money in the bank before you move on to step number 3. Now, why? Higher level strategy. Half of your negotiating power to actually do a pay for delete is being able to settle it on the phone the day that you make the phone call, right? Because they just want their money at this point, okay? So have the money in the bank, at least like, you normally can get like about 40 to 60% knocked off. Have at least 50% of that debt in the bank, of the amount of money in the bank when you make the phone call, okay? Now, step number 3, you're not calling them yet, is to actually do your research. What do I mean by that? Now you know who the company is. Now you know how much money you're going to have in the bank. Guys, go on the actual this is a back-end hack that people don't talk about. Go on the collection agency's website before you make the phone call. Why? Because some of them actually have a policy where they will delete the collection if you negotiate a settlement, and some of them actually put it on their website, right? Or we could actually even like start to Google and see they do pay for deletes. Now, and the reason why I'm telling you that is I know some collection agencies will actually delete the collection when you do a settlement, but you, the consumer, the client, must actually ask for it. And I know that's horrible. So that means that if you pay an item with them and it's actually is their policy to delete, but you don't negotiate it or don't ask for it, they actually leave it on your reports. I know, y'all. That's why I'm telling y'all. So, right, so go to the collection agency's website and see if it is their policy to do a pay for delete or if they have been known to do a pay for delete. That's step number 3. Have as much ammunition as possible before you pick up the phone. Step number 4, this is the only time you ever hear me say, besides one other scenario, to pick up the phone. You are not doing a pay for delete in the mail. You are not doing a pay for delete. I'm so extra. A pay for delete in the mail. You're not writing a letter. This is the one time where you are picking up the phone. You are going to be nice. You're not cussing nobody out. You don't have no attitude. You're not like, hey, Kim, this was unfair. You better delete this, blah, blah. You're negotiating and you want them to do something for you. So you're going to be nice. You're going to document the date, the time, the phone number, the person, even see if they have an operator number, representative number, see if they have an exact extension, right? But you're documenting it. And say you owe $1,000. Say you have $500 saved in the bank. Well, you know, when you call them, hey, ring. Kim answers the phone. You're like, hey, I need to, I'm trying to settle this debt. I went through a hardship. I'm trying to do the right thing and settle this. Can you help me delete this from my reports? And Kim is going to say, well, sure, you owe $1,000. Are you ready to pay $1,000 today? You're saying no. Now, I want you to, part of strategy, guys, part of negotiating is being strategic. I want you to lowball it. Now, you're not being disrespectful, meaning you owe $1,000, and Kim is like, hey, how much do you have to pay? And you're like, I got $12.45. She's about to hang up on you, right? But if you have $500 in the bank, maybe you say, well, I can settle it today for $150, for $200, right? Because what's going to happen at that point, you have $500, $600 in the bank. You've told them you are willing to sell it right now on the phone for $100, $200, $250, right? I'm giving you an example. Kim, the actual collection agency, is either going to say yes or she's going to say no. She's going to say, yes, we'll accept $250 today. We'll do a pay for delete. You're done. Or she's going to say, no, we will not accept $250, but we will accept $300, right? She'll give a counter offer. That's why you're starting a little bit under what you actually have in the bank to give yourself some wiggle room. And to be honest, because we're trying to, again, get to a zero balance and do a pay for delete with the least money out of pocket, because your sole goal is to move on to getting your bigger money, right? Your real estate money, your investing money, your business credit money, okay? And increasing your scores to qualify for those things. So she may say, okay, well, I'll do it for $300. Well, now you've negotiated pay for delete. You got to a zero balance. You saved yourself some money and you're on your way to actually increasing your scores and moving on to the very next step. So when you agree on that actual amount, then you're going to get it in writing, especially for collection agency, guys. They are shady, okay? A lot of them are shady. So you're saying to her, hey, now you're agreeing to delete this. Send me an email, send me a text, send me a letter, whatever it is. And guys, sometimes if you need that time to actually pay the actual debt, they'll send you a letter. You can ask for this. It says, you have 3 weeks to pay this. You have 10 days to pay this. They allow enough time for you to get that in writing that they are agreeing to delete it and for you to make the actual payment. You are not paying or doing a sum or anything if they're not willing to give you anything in writing, okay? Period, okay? So you need something in writing as proof, and then you're going to go ahead and make your payment and also document and keep track of your proof of payment. So whether you're doing it with, a money order, a check, whether you're doing a wire, whatever it is, also keep proof of your payment. Now, and that's step number 5, right? Making your actual payment and keeping proof of your payment. And step number 5, you're also going to call collection agency back and say, hey, speaking right to the same person, Kim, I spoke to you last week. You told me to pay $300. You would do a you would delete this from my credit reports. I've made the payment. Can I send you the proof? When will this be deleted? Ask them when it will be deleted, right? You already have your proof, and then give them a chance to actually delete it. Nugget, guys. Your credit reports update every 30, 60 to 90 days. That's when the companies actually send updates to the bureaus. So she may say, all right, we'll send an update next week or next month, or she may say, it will be done instantly, whatever it is. But give them enough time, maybe a week or two, to kind of like do this. If not, guys, you can dispute it with the credit bureaus after you've made the payment to force the update. Now, why am I saying that? Because when you, the consumer, do a dispute, right, they have 30 days. Pay attention. They have 30 days by law to do the dispute and respond to you underneath the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So you've paid it. You have your proof of payment. All you're doing, you're not sending proof of payment to the credit bureaus because they'll just keep it, want to make it a zero balance. All you're doing is disputing it as inaccurate. Hey, dispute this collection account number. It's inaccurate. Please delete. Put the burden of proof on the collection agency and the credit bureau. Why? Because if they actually agree to a pay for delete, then when that dispute comes through, the collection agency will either just not respond, so it gets deleted through a loophole for not being able to be validated, or and basically that's compliance. Or the collection agency actually is going to say, yes, go ahead and delete that this is inaccurate because they agreed to that. Okay, so let me recap and then I'll do my nuggets. So step number 1 is pull your reports. Step number 2 was to calculate the amount that you owe and have it in the bank. You can get between 40 to 60% knocked off. Step number 3 was to do your research. Like look up the collection agency and see if they actually are known to do pay for deletes, and make sure you know who you're working with, okay? Step number 4 was to make a phone call, be nice, lowball it, and document. And step number 5 was to make your payment, keep proof of payment, call back the collection agency and see exactly when it will be deleted. And if they don't delete it fast enough, go ahead and initiate a dispute with the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian directly, and the dispute you're always doing in writing. So pay for delete, you're negotiating over the phone. The actual dispute you're doing in writing with the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Got it good, guys. And for my nugget, I need you guys to hear this. You are the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. Now pause. That even includes your spouse. That includes the person you're dating. That includes the person you're in a situationship. That includes family, friends, neighbors, coworkers. Guys, look around. If you are the top of your circle, and I mean it, that means that everybody is pulling from you. You're pouring into everybody. You're helping everybody, but you are not being stretched. You're not being challenged. You're not getting any new information. You don't have anybody to do that iron sharpens iron with you, right? And if you're trying to, please understand that your life right now is a result of all of your knowledge, your skills, your experience, your exposure, right? If you're trying to get to the next level, that means there's information, experience, people, places, things, knowledge that is out there that you need access to so you can actually grow. So you're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. This is why they say a man must have a vision. A woman must have a vision, have a purpose, have goals, because that way you know who is supposed to be by your side. Come on, somebody. If you try to be a multimillionaire and generational wealth and build an empire, and the person you're with is like, I want to spend every single day and I don't care about none of that and live life and I'm only want to do what's for today, well, you're not equally yoked. And that's one reason why there's some friction, because what you're being exposed to every day is counterintuitive to your actual purpose. You're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. So if you want to change your results, then look at who is pouring into you and who you are interacting with on a daily basis. Who are you calling? Who are you texting? Who's in your inbox? Who's in your DM? Who are you spending time with? Because if those people do not have the results you desire, come on, somebody, that may be one of the first changes that you need to make to help you unlock the next level. Now, I believe in covenant and marriage. Somebody's telling you divorce somebody, but what I'm saying is be wise about who you spend your time with. The difference between people who are wildly successful and the people who are not is who they spend their time with and what they spend their time on. Got it good? All right.